this is also the case with the species, and if with the species, likewise with the genus. Thus for instance, if it is possible for a ship, it is also possible for a three*banked galley to be constructed. And if a three*banked galley, a ship likewise may be constructed. And if one of those things which are naturally related to each other is possible, the other also is possible, as if the double is possible. This is also the case with the half, and if the half, the double also. If likewise it is possible for any thing to be effected without art or preparation, it is much more possible for it to be effected through art and diligent attention. Whence, also, it is said by Agatho, Some things by fortune may effected be, And some by art we do, and from necessity. And if a thing may be effected by worse, or inferior, or more imprudent persons, it may also be much more effected by persons of a contrary description. As likewise Isocrates said, that it would be a dreadful thing, if Euthymus should have learnt that, which he himself was unable to discover. But with respect to things impossible, it is evident that they may be obtained from the contraries to the above mentioned particulars. Whether a thing, however, has been done, or has not been done, must be considered from what follows. For in the first place, if that has been done, which is less naturally adapted to have been done, that will have been effected, which is more naturally adapted to have been done. And if that which was wont to be done afterwards has been done, that also has been done, which was usually done before. As if a man has forgotten any thing, he has once learnt that which he has forgotten. And if a man is able and willing to do a thing, he has done it. For all men act when they are willing and able, since there is no impediment to their acting. Farther still, if a man is willing to do a thing, and nothing external impedes him, he does it. And if he is able to effect any thing, and is angry, he effects it. And this is likewise the case if he is able, and is under the influence of desire. For men for the most part do those things which they desire, and are able to effect. Depraved men indeed from intemperance, but worthy men because they desire what is equitable. If also any one intended to do a thing, it is probable that he did it. And if such things are done as are naturally adapted to be done prior to a certain thing, or for the sake of it, that thing has been done. Thus, if it has lightened, it has also thundered. And if any one has endeavoured to do a certain thing, he has also done it. And if such things as are naturally adapted to have been done afterwards, or if that for the sake of which they are done has been effected, that also which is done prior to them, and for the sake of which they are done, has been effected. Thus, if it has thundered, it has lightened. And if a thing has been done, there has likewise been an endeavour to do it. With respect, however, to all these things, some of them are from necessity, but others for the most part subsist after this manner. And as to that which has not been done, it is evident that it may be shown not to have been done from places contrary to the before mentioned. Evidence likewise, with respect to what will be done, may be derived from the same things. For that which it is in the power and will of any one to do, will be done. This is also the case with things which any one is impelled to do from desire and anger, and reasoning in conjunction with power. Hence, if any one is impelled, or meditates to do a thing, it will be done, since for the most part things which are intended to be done are effected, rather than those which are not. If, also, those things are done which ought to have been done first, that likewise will be done, which ought to have been done afterwards. Thus, because before it rains the clouds ought to be collected, if the clouds are collected, it is probable it will rain. And if a thing has been done, which is for the sake of something else, it is probable that the thing will be done for the sake of which the other was done. As if the foundation is laid, it is probable the house will be built. With respect however to the magnitude and parvitude of things, the greater and the less, and in short, things which are great and small, these will be evident to us from what has been said before. For in the discussion of the deliberative genus, we have spoken concerning the magnitude of what is good, and in short concerning the greater and the less. Hence, since in every oration the proposed end is good, as for instance the useful, the beautiful, and the just, it is evident that through these amplifications must be assumed in all orations. But besides these, to investigate any thing concerning magnitude simply and excess is a vain discussion. For particulars are more useful in the composition of orations than universals, and thus much concerning the possible and impossible, and whether a thing has been done, or has not been done, and will be, or will not be. And further still, concerning the greatness and littleness of things. CHAPTER 21. It now remains to speak about the credibility which is common to all orations, since we have already spoken about the credibility which is peculiar. But there are two kinds of the credibility which is common, viz. Example and enthymeme. For a sentence is a part of an enthymeme. In the first place, therefore, let us speak concerning example. For example is similar to induction, but induction is a principle. But of examples there are two species. For one species indeed of example is to speak of things that are past, but the other is, when we ourselves feign something similar for the purpose of showing that which we wish to show. And of this, one species is a parable, but the other fables, like those of Aesop and the Africans. Example, however, is indeed a thing of the following kind, as if some one should say, that it is necessary to make preparations against the Persian king, and not suffer him to subjugate Egypt. For prior to him, Darius could not pass over the Hellespont till he had captured Egypt. But when he had captured it, he passed into Greece. And again, Xerxes did not attack Greece till he had captured Egypt. But when he had captured it, he passed over into Greece. So that this king of Persia also, if he should take Egypt, will pass into Greece. Hence he must not be suffered to do this. But a parable is a Socratic similitude, as if some one should say, that it is not proper magistrates should be chosen by lot. For this is just as if some one should choose athletae by lot, so as not to select those who are able to contend, but those on whom the lot falls. Or as if some one should choose by lot from a number of sailors him who ought to be the pilot of a ship, as if it were proper that he should be chosen on whom the lot falls, and not he who is skilled in steering a ship. But a fable is such as that of Stesichorus against Phalaris, and of Aesop for a certain demagogue. For when the Himerians had chosen Phalaris for their general with absolute authority, and were about to give him a guard for his body, Stesichorus, after other things which he had said, addressed this fable to them, that a horse once had sole possession of a meadow, but that a stag coming into it, and destroying the pasture, the horse, wishing to be revenged of the stag, asked a man if he should be able in conjunction with him to punish the stag. But the man answered, that he should be able if he would suffer himself to be bridled, and let him get on his back, armed with darts. The horse, therefore, having consented, the man, having got on his back, instead of taking vengeance on the stag, made the horse his slave. In like manner, he said, do you Himerians take care, lest, wishing to be revenged of your enemies, you suffer the same thing as the horse. For now you have received a bridle, in having chosen a general with absolute authority. But if you allow him a guard, and suffer him to get on your backs, you will immediately be enslaved.